Yeah, welcome to our forecast for July 23, and for you guys, the in-depth reflection of these July energies. I'm going to go through the overall situation first, as I always do, to give you the background, the canvas on which your own personal aspects, things that are basically in your field already, that come forward for you, how they are going to challenge you, and also what the opportunities are. So without the context, guys, and I know many of you are reading horoscopes and things like that, it's very difficult to internalize that, to process what you're hearing there. Yeah. So there can be things, for example, that I see that make no sense to me, and perhaps even no sense to you at this very moment, because it's not reality for you yet. But in a month such as July 2023, where we will all experience an extremely big shift in our perspective, like how we are looking at things, it's very common that some of the things that I will talk about are that you cannot relate to them yet. Yeah, so just keep an open mind and expect the unexpected, really. Yeah, like allow yourself to recognize sort of what is going on the outside and what is going on your inside, and try to balance it, try to align it as good as you can. That's one of those big themes here in July. I don't know if you had the time to read the forecast. Yeah, so in there, I am predicting, yeah, that the impossible will become possible if we consciously step into this and raise the bar. Yeah, we have to raise the bar. We have to go with this energy. If you resist it, if you go into resistance to this increase in energy that is available for you, then it will pull you back into your old densities. And here in July, this can mean that you will get triggered in your inner child stuff that you thought you had worked through many times. Why is that? Because the bar is being raised. Okay, it's another level. And you know that this is kind of like a running joke here at transCODES. There is always another level. Yeah, this is a testament of growth. So if you see this as not a repetition, we're going to talk about the differences between a repetition and growth, because growth often comes through a repeating theme that you are now supposed to tackle or work with from within your updated, your upgraded understanding of yourself. Yeah, so this upgrade that is coming in with or without us, okay, is what we need to process, is what we need to work with. So in July 23, we can expect a dynamic, very dynamic and transformative energetic landscape again. Yeah, it's like Fast and Furious Part 2. I already mentioned that in June. That invites us to embrace change internally as well as externally. So the hard part here in July compared to June, June was like a lot of these sudden and unexpected things that happen from the outside. Now this continues, it just continues, okay, another level of that. But this time we're also noticing an inner shift, and that makes it more of an internal, of an inside job. We have to balance this even more. Last month was sort of the seesaw. This month is really about keeping things in a grounded way. Keeping is more like a pendulum. Yeah. So our job in all of this is to trust in our inner guidance that is coming through the true self that we have been building this relationship with, and to have faith in that, to stand our ground. Now, guided by a strong impulse to free ourselves from old patterns and dependencies, we will feel the need to finally step into our authentic power. Yes, and you have that power, especially if you've been cultivating your relationship with truth, your relationship with your soul. If you want to be better at knowing truth or discerning truth, at making the right choices for yourself, being true and authentic to yourself, you're going to have to cultivate that. That's really the big, I want to say, impulse here for July. Yeah, this cultivation, this inner work that you have been doing is fundamentally what will give you the confidence to stand in your values and recognize that, well, you're a different person now than you used to be. And all this self-beat up and self-bashing about transgressions in the past and where we didn't do the right decisions or whatever, whatever that sounds like inside of you, yeah, this needs to be let go of now. You can't afford that in July, guys. There's a very dense field that comes with that pulls you into your fears. So if you allow yourself, yeah, this is the identity aspect of this, if you allow yourself to identify yourself with your old self, yeah, or even your inner child, right, you're going to get pulled right into that place, like a flashback in movies. And it's like, oh my God, nothing changed. No, that's not true. You have changed. You are no longer that person. You have been growing. Ask yourself over and over again, who am I now? What do I need now? Everything changes when you grow. So with this potential for profound personal and also, of course, social growth, because that happens not just for you, that happens for everybody else around you. We need to navigate these ever-shifting currents of energy and consciousness. And that requires a crystal clear understanding of your inner workings and also of the outer workings, what is going on in other people, because you will find out that it's not all just you. Yeah? And what you're dealing with here, yeah, you're dealing with family relationship dynamics, health aspects, legal aspects. Is there like some kind of power struggle going on at work or, in the grander scale of geopolitics? Is there financial stuff going on? Are you dealing with, like this inner impulse that you might have to move because you don't feel safe? Yeah, maybe due to earth changes or due to just simply you picking up on all these shifts that are happening in your surroundings, yeah, with your neighbors, etc. Maybe you're dealing with cosmological impulses, with things that are beyond your own ego mind's understanding, and you still need to integrate that. The same with your spiritual perspectives. There's going to be a lot going on here in a spiritual sense, guys, all the way to like the formation of a new religion. This is very hard to imagine right now, but there are very strong spiritual forces at work right now, or astral forces, better say, yeah, that are driving people into more polarity. So some of you might actually get to this place where you're no longer afraid of, some of the things that you were raised with, regarding Jesus and Christ and so forth. Because if you take out the whole church aspect of it, the organization, the dogma that comes with it, there are some very, very profound truths to be found in, say, the New Testament, and really working with these spiritual impulses that came in 2,000 years ago. They are becoming very, very active right now. They're integrating as well. So what I'm saying is we all came from a place where we didn't really want to associate with church and all that came with it. Now you have a more mature perspective on this, a more grown-up perspective. You no longer need to just blindly believe, everything that you were spoon-fed. You have your own spiritual perspective now, and now you can embrace that again. So this is basically how you transcend your inner polarity, and ultimately also from a metaphysical standpoint, how you move into the Trinity, out of the two-dimensional into the three-dimensional, that then opens up these other dimensions, the energetic and the spiritual dimensions for yourself. So the energies of July carry a sense of expansion and liberation, urging us to break free from those old limitations and explore new horizons so that we can better align our actions with our true values. So July is all about going into initiative, taking taking charge of what it is that you're doing and being very, almost like a stickler to what it is that you bring into expression, through your actions, through your words. It is a time to reassess our goals, dreams, and aspirations and take bold steps toward manifesting them. That's why I added the self-mastery strategy points in your instructions and forecast. It's really the directions on how to do this. You're becoming more aware that your old goals don't represent who you are anymore, and this needs to be updated. So you can't experience an upgrade internally and expect for the outer world to just magically kind of change along with this. You have to initiate that. You have to either adjust your goals or adjust the way you want to manifest them. The universe is supporting us in this alignment with our true purpose and expressing our unique gifts and talents this month. And don't be surprised, often in unexpected or undervalued talents that come forward. There will be aspects of yourself that you have perhaps maybe shoved away or swept under the rug because you felt this was weak or not really acceptable maybe for others. And then there will be things that you have overly developed and overly invested in, such as people pleasing and all the codependency stuff that you're now realizing is not worth it. These people that you're trying to do this for, they're not seeing it. They don't even have the same values as you do. All right, so stop being disappointed and feeling like a victim and forming all these resentments inside of you, and take action and say, you know what, I'm just not going to do that anymore. And yes, there's going to be resistance from others because, why do you stop doing it? You have always been doing it. So people unconsciously have that expectation now. So if you stop doing the things that you did or used to do that were just there, for you to feel more likable or whatever, then you're going to get a little bit of friction there with other people. And that's where you need to stand your ground. So this period may also bring up lots of challenges and new levels of intensity as we confront ourselves with our unresolved issues. So it's a wonderful opportunity for you to face your shadow, because codependency, people pleasing is part of your shadow. It's what we call the white shadow. To work on old traumas because they get triggered in these days. This has already happened in June. Did you notice that? And embrace self-compassion and forgiveness. You have to go into this place with yourself where, just like with a good friend, and say, okay, I get it. There were some things, in hindsight, I would do them differently, but I didn't at the time because that was where I was. But I'm at a different place now. I can make different choices now. So don't let yourself get dragged or held back by old choices. Step into the new. Embrace criticism. If it's constructive, embrace that and say, you know what, I've never looked at it this way. Let me try this. Embrace new approaches. And don't take everything so personally. You are not the only one that is going through this. The whole world, all people, including the planet itself is going through this right now. So the big shift comes in the middle of the month to at the end of the month. I have the dates for you here in a moment. And with that, you know, you're really going to feel this sense of urgency that many of you already picked up on. But you will have the needed support. Yeah, you will have the support to move forward. We just need to find out how to balance this correctly. Yeah, how to constantly realign to these changing outer conditions. Yeah, things that people say, that people do, that you see on the news, that happens over there, that happens over there, and you know, all these outer happenings. Yeah, they won't stop. This will just keep going faster, guys. Yeah, I meant it when I said Fast and Furious Part 2. Fast and Furious, guys. Now, the new part here in July is that relationships will play a much more significant role in these next 4 to 6 weeks. So as the energies encourage us to deepen our connections, we will also notice which of these connections, friendships, partnerships, and so forth, aren't really that supportive or conducive, or kind of just half-hearted. You know, these people that always say, yeah, let's meet, and never end up, you know, being able to have the time to do this. I'm guilty of that too. But there's so many different ways to connect. So this month is a good month to find new ways to connect. You know, if you live too far apart, or, you know, if the weather isn't right, or whatever, you know, then maybe find ways to engage with one another, to do things online, perhaps together, even playing online. Yeah, there are so many different ways to connect with people. Yeah, you'd be surprised. It's not stupid, you know, to play an online game together while you're talking on FaceTime, for example. Yeah, this increases your connection and gives a platform for exchange. Obviously, true exchange happens in, you know, in person, and that's why this month has so many relationship aspects. Yeah, past, current, future relationships. We'll have to learn to who we can count on and who to let go of. Yeah. And I can tell you exactly what these people are that you need to let go of. It's all those who are not willing to see you as you are today. That doesn't mean you have to cut them out of your life, but you just have to become realistic about whether or not they are, well, supportive. They're not. Yeah, people that make fun of you, or, you know, that think that you're like a woo-woo person or stuff like that, that's degrading. That's an attack. Energetically seen, that's an attack. Yeah, if your neighbors complain about, you know, your dogs or your cats, you know, doing things, okay, that's an attack. And sometimes it's justified, and sometimes you have to negotiate, but sometimes it's just obnoxious. It's just selfish. So in July, only those things that favor mutual exchange are sustainable. So this is also why we have, on a geopolitical arena, why we will see new alliances. There's, you know, all these old big organizations, NATO, UN, EU, etc., they are starting to fall apart. And that's a good thing, guys. That's a good thing, because they need to be updated, and they're no longer serving the purpose that they were originally founded for. Yeah. And yeah, this creates a lot of turmoil and unrest and rebellion, as we can see, you know, in the news today. Yeah, but it needs to happen. Also, remember my predictions. Watch the video again, 23 to 27, about digital currency, now sanctioned by the Federal Reserve and already implemented. So this has already happened, guys. I'm not making this up. Yeah, and the big banks all now suddenly becoming proponents of cryptocurrency. So all these things are happening right now while we are being distracted with stuff that is completely irrelevant. Yeah, I'm talking about the media wars. Yeah, these big things, these truly big things happen in the background, and that's what we need to put into the equation for ourselves. Yeah. So don't think it's just you, but understand that the only way you can, adjust to these changes in your real life is through, well, talking to others, because you're not a singularity. So you have to have these care frontations, yeah, where you say, hey, look, I have the right to change my mind. I changed my mind. I'm seeing things differently now. And I would like to renegotiate, yeah, the way we live together or the way we work together or whatever. Yeah, you have the right to change your mind. This may come as a surprise to you. Yeah, and to say it, you need to express that. You can't just do this internally and then sort of have this sort of, mm, sort of meanie inside of you. Yeah, if you keep that negative talk inside of you, it will the energy of that will direct against you. So it's really important that you get things out. Now your existing relationships may undergo a testing phase now till October, but this can also lead to a deepening. So it's like a clearing out the house and making sure that you have a good foundation with your friends and your relationships and also with your work. So focus on whether your relationships are conducive to transformation and growth. And if not, let them go. At the same time, surprising new connections, yeah, that align you to your higher purpose may enter your life. So guys, some of you will fall in love in July and it will come fast and furious, and you're gonna have to do the same thing as I just mentioned in a more general sense. You're gonna have to learn how to balance this out. So there are plenty of opportunities to experience this new depth, yeah, that wants to come in our relationships and also our romantic connections. So make sure that you allow, both the progress or the new, but also the depth. It has to kind of always go hand in hand. It has to catch up with one another. You can't just sort of run forward or go into like the dreamy world of idealism, yeah, and forget to build a foundation. On a global scale, the energies in July may bring in societal issues, yeah, injustices and power imbalances. We've been having this for a while now, but as these power alliances in the world are shifting, so much more shifts, yeah. So basically, what is in the mind of the politicians when they change rules or legislations, they are seeing different things now that they need to implement. So I'm still expecting big changes in taxes and things like that. Yeah, like similar to the abortion rights and so forth. So that size, that is sort of impactful. Earthquakes are highly possible this month. Now, the visual that I saw with the earthquakes is also something that could mean that something big, like like earthquakes occur when two tectonic plates clash or when they pull apart, and the same thing could also happen in a societal way or in a political way. So it might not be as literal. However, I'm pretty confident that we're actually also going to see earthquakes. New revelations can activate a critical mass this month. This is interesting because especially for you guys, you will, for the first time perhaps, no longer feel alone. Yeah, there is stuff going on now, and there's more people like you. Yeah, many more than you thought there were, because they're finally finding the courage to come out of the woodwork. Yeah, so if you haven't come out of the woodwork yet, July is a great opportunity, because that helps others. It helps others to find the confidence to speak up for their values as well. So find the right people to do business with, to do social things with, to have fun with, to do, work with, or to change something with. Yeah. So in that, there's a great opportunity for collective healing and transformation, because we all need to learn to rectify, to balance these things out that we're in imbalance. It's the time to stand up for social justice, equality, and inclusivity. I don't like those words, but you will hear them over and over again. And I want to, just urge you to look at the deeper meaning of them and not the hijacked version that is being propagated to us in the media. And to work toward creating more harmonious, heart-centered, and the harmonious and heart-centered and sustainable world. If you are in a position where everything seems to fail and you don't know what to do, this is a big important tip for you. Go into what is more harmonious, what is more heart-centered in the moment. Yeah? Buy yourselves a bouquet of flowers. Paint a picture. Change the colors in your apartment. Create a beautiful cake, or prepare a party for somebody, or something that truly, truly expresses who you are. Make a nice gift. Yeah, things like that. That can help you through these really, really tense moments where you want to lose faith. Step into what moves your heart and what connects you with your soul. Yeah. And allow your ego to be tickled, because that is a sign of growth, guys. Yeah. So the energies of July support creative expression and innovation. It's a very fertile time for artistic endeavors, entrepreneurial ventures, and bringing new ideas and groundbreaking innovations into reality. But there's a but. We still need to be careful. Not all of that is actually, makes sense. So be open, but also wary. Trust your intuition and allow your creative inspiration to guide you in exploring uncharted new territories. Make new business plans, develop a new health routine, maybe start a new relationship, yeah, and allow lots and lots of space for growth. Self-care and self-nurturing practices are essential. You already know this, especially during transformative times. Now, prioritize your own self-being and create a space for rest, for reflection, and rejuvenation. July is also a month, like I was almost going to call reinvent yourself, yeah, of regeneration. It's very, very important. You already felt that in June, yeah, where you felt more tired, perhaps. Yeah, you felt both. You felt more energy, but you also felt more tired. So you got to give your body a chance to catch up. Yeah, listen to your body's wisdom, even if you sometimes feel it's a restriction. Yeah, well, you're gonna have to live with it here for as long as you are in 3D. Yeah, so heed your body, connect with the organs that are acting up, yeah, or your glands, or whatever it is that you're struggling with. Connect with it, talk with it, become an ally with it. This will help you to maintain physical and emotional balance and integrate these powerful energies of July. However, the increasing bombardment on our mental capacity to process these rapid transformations asks us to increase our discernment. And this is important for some of you, because if you are already scatterbrained, if you already have a hard time with digesting too much information that is coming in from the outside, okay, you really need to work on, becoming able to set aside things, to discern things, to filter things correctly. You can't just block everything off. Yeah, then you're blocking your own growth as well. So I recommend education and higher learning. Yeah, pick the topics that you really love. Now buy a new book or start a new course. We have wonderful new courses in July, for example, if this is of interest to you, yeah, like your higher learning. but do something that tickles something in you, yeah, that moves your heart and it connects you with your soul. July is a good month for starting something new, to raise the bar and open new horizons. Let me just very quick here, I show you guys how this affects your energy centers, not just yours, everybody's. Yeah, big time first chakra month, July. That is all about feeling safe within, being true to oneself, and also being supportive to oneself. Now, this is why it triggers codependency and self-love deficiency stuff. And on our emotional level, yeah, this increased need for emotional processing comes in because it triggers our past trauma. So that's where a lot of you guys are having inner child stuff come up again. And your job is now to recognize, well, that was back then. Okay, when I was a child, I didn't have a choice. I didn't know I had a choice, or all these awareness things that come with innocence. But now I'm the more mature version of this, and I've done some work on this already, and I can see my own parts in this. So I no longer have to go into these old places. Yeah, it's really about withstanding that that pull into old coping, into old ways of handling things, and that's why we need upgraded emotional processing. We need to learn, yeah, that these things such as therapy, coaching, talking about things, group therapy, and so forth are really helpful for us because they allow us to share our perspectives in a way that we can recognize that we're not the only ones. We're not alone in this. In fact, we are walking on this path with everyone who's walked on this path before us, yeah, and with us here in this time. So the hard part about this ego-wise is that our third chakra gets triggered a lot. So our ego will resist all this here in July because it shows us our, well, yeah, it says here delusions unveiled, but really what I'm talking about is, we realize how we have been checking out, how we have been going into the la land of justifications, or, just making things okay that are not okay to us. And that's, the part that needs to be reconciled with our the core of our true self, our heart awareness. Yeah, we need to be honest with ourselves. That's why the ego rebels and pulls us into an old coping mechanism. So you need to withstand that in July, because there's a lot going on. Yeah, that's going to pull you into your old coping, and we can't really allow that anymore. What has to happen, to mitigate that is that we have to allow these new ideas to come in, and to find new creative ways to expressing our truths, our true selves. So the two main factors here energetically are our first chakra and our seventh chakra, guys. Just like in June, also with increased third eye activity. Yeah, here your sixth, your brow chakra, which means that it's really sort of still the faded. Yeah, it's something that we need to do, and if we resist this, we're just going to be thrown back into kindergarten. Then you have to go through the same stuff over again, and that now becomes increasingly painful. So if we can take on the higher perspective and see what those patterns are, it's going to be a walk in the park. Yeah, the stuff that's going on the outside is just sort of the icing on the cake. Yeah, this Fast and Furious Part 2 feel that July has, that's just going to show it to you even more clearly. Yeah, the things that you believed in that are not true. Yeah, the science that you believed in is not true, or what the politicians said and what they did was not true. All these things. My tip for you is stay up to date, but don't go into too much detail, because there is too much that you can process. Yeah, focus on your inner emotional perception of yourself, and keep your side of the fence clean. In other words, you know, only do things that are healing, that are expansive, that are healthy for you. Yeah, and focus on new routines that support that, which also includes relationships and people in your life. Here, just real quick, the promised overview of important dates in July. So I've added here at the end of June in it because it's still early here in June. These shocking reveals, they're coming forward now. So this is something that you can prepare yourself if you don't tap into the news, then ignore that, but it's going to affect other people. All right. So there's strong waves now that are well, that will rock the boat. Okay, especially here in the US. And this is then the preface to these July energies, because we're now starting to get emotionally triggered. June was all in our heads and it made us tired, and we were scatterbrained and couldn't really think clear and just wanted to take naps. Yeah, July is going to be much more emotional, but in that way also much clearer, because we can recognize what it is that needs to be addressed now. Yeah, so our emotions are also helpful signals. So it's all about realigning, yeah, our course, orienting ourselves new, yeah, and perhaps coming up with more conscious goals. Yeah, many of you still confuse goals with tools or ways to get there. Okay, you cannot decide a strategy or a way to get to somewhere before you know where there is. You need to first do this inner work to find out what your true goals are. Yeah, and that's something that comes in a little more clearly in the first half of July. A higher perspective that allows us to recognize, and that's the emotional part, through these clash energies. So things that we thought we had figured out, they're just going to clash and collapse right in front of us, and we're like, oh shit. That's also a way to learn. Yeah. This first week, a very high chance of earthquakes. I already mentioned this isn't always in that literal sense, but it's these clash energies, yeah, very strong from 1st to 9th of July. Then on the 9th of July, a very important date here, there's a standoff. It's almost like a standstill. It's like everybody's holding their breath, a huge power struggle. Internally, or as individuals, we will feel this as like a complete sort of opposition of our inner and outer goals. So this is then the final, all right, hang on a second, I need to kind of realign myself. Who am I? What do I need? Where do I want to go? And this then leads up to, you know, this July, the mid-July, 12th till 17th is a really big energetic shift. As individuals, we feel this in form of this inner rebellion. It sounds kind of like, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm done with this, or this really needs to change. On the outside, we can actually see this in actual rebellions. Yeah, so there's stuff coming down here. 17th of July, new moon energies are very, very strong, sort of reality check kind of energy comes in. Makes it very clear that if we are not standing in truth with ourselves, we have no way to navigate the future. Yeah, so all this transformation, this upgrade that I mentioned earlier, this needs to step up now. We need to raise the bar. We really need to. And this comes with all these sudden things. Yeah, so Fast and Furious Part 2, meaning just like in June, things are still going to come in bam, 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 and we're going to have to deal with one thing after the other. And every single time, we have to stand our ground. And that's then what brings in innovation and progress. So overall, it's a positive momentum because there's a forward movement, okay? Yeah, but it comes a little as a shock. And then too, at the end of the month, yeah, well, the long predicted financial reorganization is taking place as we speak. So this is not a conspiracy theory. This will become more and more aware to you. Obviously, I'm someone who has been predicting this for many years. So I watch the news in that regards, like, cryptocurrencies and how digital currencies have been integrated into the different nations. Now this is all reality now, guys. Yeah, big banks all just moved in with it. So no matter what they said last month, okay, nope, it's all gonna go there. So as this new reality integrates now, we need to catch up emotionally. We need to process that, and we can't do this alone, guys. So we need others. Yeah, we need like-minded people. We need people to share things with. To bounce our views off from. And if you find out that your family or your spouses or whatever still think that you're a conspiracy theorist, well then stop trying to convince them. Go and talk with people that are more open-minded and that do not judge you based on your old you. That can be tough sometimes emotionally, but it's what we all need to do. Our relationships need to reflect our true self-awareness. And then the month is going to sort of go out with a big bang. We're going to look at that in the forecast for August then. But it's going to be very clear now that these old patterns, these old behaviors, and all these old, power games and power struggles that are going on politics and everywhere, that they're outdated. They are not sustainable. New awareness must align with actions, and that, my friends, is going to be the next year and a half. Okay, it's all about realigning, reconstructing, regenerating, reinventing our societal orders, our distribution of wealth and work and so forth. My self-healing tip here for you for July is to take good care of yourself. Nutrition, exercise, really, really important that you have good routines. Integrate them. Get a bike, and take your bike to work or for shopping, integrate things with one another. Integrate your emotions through sharing, talking, finding allies and others. Join groups that promote growth, that are non-judgmental, not dogmatic. We're going to see a massive rise in cults and new religion, so be careful there. Always check on your alignment and listen to your body if you have to, because if you get a weird, creepy feeling from your body from within, listen to it. So balance your seeking and your desire to grow with common sense. Balance it. Watch out for codependency aspects. So if this is a term that you're not familiar with, if you don't know how self-love deficiency, as psychologists often call it, and these relationships where you constantly feel taken advantage of, how that applies to you. transCODES might be a good place for you to start, because we have the codependency healing series here in July. You can see this on the energy calendar. Those are energy sessions where you can engage in higher learning and learn through your inner experience of it. Conscious energy management is super, super important. As always, here, my worksheet for discerning your own wellness levels, discerning between body, heart, mind, spirit, and soul, helps you to uncover your own truth. What are my true feelings? Where am I with my boundaries? Do I have any inner conflicts? I know cognitive dissonances, and so forth. You can request this worksheet from me if you don't have it. Physically, we will continue to feel this tiredness that so many of you felt, not as strong as in June, because we're moving from the mental into the emotional now. So as we're gaining more mental clarity and structure, It's much more the stomach now that is becoming a little squeezy. Some viruses that are, leading to digestive upsets and so forth are going around right now. Also the throat, because we need to speak up more, and you will feel those chakra blocks, as we call them in energy work, expressed through your nervous system. So where your throat suddenly shuts down. Again, like last month, I pointed out the importance of meditation and mindfulness techniques and conscious breathing techniques, such as the I am breathing, to stimulate your vagus nerve, because that's the most natural way for you to sort of calm yourself down and allow your organs and your glands and so forth to relax. Some of you will come up with issues with their feet. Such a strong first chakra month that you will, have foot issues. Yeah, I will probably have them because I'm a very sort of first chakra person here. Some of you who are a bit more sensitive with allergies, maybe or skin stuff, you're gonna see that acting up. That's the seventh chakra link. Watch your nutrients. Some of these sensitivities might be related to nutrient deficiencies. Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown of July energies. We are going to listen to the energy alignment here in the recording now. So thank you for tuning in. Check out our energy training club special this month, which allows you to participate in all these energy healing workshops and sessions that we have, or even go a step further and check out the 6-week energy course that helps you to train your energy awareness, goes really deep all the way to protect your energies and understanding energetic interactions better. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good July. I see you very soon. Stay conscious. Bye-bye, everyone.
Shift. To truth, love and peace within, I dedicate myself. I am one with my true self. The part in me that is unchanging, eternal, and infinite, and that helps me to remember who I truly am. I embrace change as the evolutionary path of my being, and trust in my true self to guide me to grow and unfold my highest potential and purpose in life. By being aware of the conscious soul self that I am, I notice the impulse to shift my attention to seeking deep healing of my body, mind, emotion, soul, and spirit, so that I can let go of all external influences that do not serve my highest good. With truth in my heart, I can feel and sense that I have all I need to be my higher self in me already. But with doubt in my ego, I easily lose touch with my true needs. I often try to avoid conflict to the expense of my inner truth, and thus compromise my sense of self. This needs to change. I came here not to please others, but to live my highest expression. The courage to live the truth comes from the courage to love the truth. I love truth more than my ego. I am ready to shift. I am ready to accept all limitations as learning experiences, and no matter how big the challenge, take on every opportunity to heal and grow. Yes, I know who I am, and I fully embrace my responsibility as a co-creator of my reality. I choose to let go of identifying with my survival fears and the illusion of lack, or that I'm not good enough, conscious or unconscious. I am the way, light, and the truth. I can feel it when my heart is moved, when my soul is connected, and when my ego is challenged. That's how I know I grow. I shift my energy to what is healthy and healing for me, and what strengthens my inner resolve and confidence to act on new perspectives and solutions that are in alignment with my higher goals, even if they challenge my ego at first. I am aware of the importance of making this shift a conscious choice, because only I have the authority to choose whom I want to experience this life as. And I am choosing to raise the bar. Through the power in my heart, I hear with clear all attachments, dependencies, limitations, conditioning, mind control, energetic ties and karmic binds in any dimension or time, to any person, entity, or ego illusion. Nothing and no one has the right to violate my integrity or authenticity. I trust in my ability to sense anything or anyone compromising my confidence to manifest my higher potential. thank you for my energetic sensitivity, as it shows me when I need to stand my ground and when I need to let go. Thank you for my critical thinking and insight, as it shows me when I need to self-correct and when I need to shift. And thank you for the love in my heart, as it reminds me of the sacredness of my light, which is what gives me the courage to choose that I am. Allow me to grow beyond what my ego cannot see, and guide me to be open for this new part of my life's journey, so that I can rest in my heart, knowing that all there is left to do is to live and create my life in the light of love and truth.